Hello and welcome to Global One Media's Stocks to Watch series, where we bring you the information you need to build a robust investment portfolio. I am Munir Barazi, your business analyst and host, and today I am joined by Thomas Abraham James, the president, CEO, and co-founder of Pulsar Helium, an explorer and developer of high-potential helium properties in Minnesota and Greenland. The company is listed on the TSX Venture Exchange as PLSR and on the Frankfurt Stock Exchange as Y3K. Hello, Thomas. It's good to have you with us today.
Thank you very much for having me. Nice to be here.
You're quite welcome. So for our viewers who are not familiar with the company, can you share with us the story behind how Pulsar Helium was founded and its current mission and vision?
Sure. The company was listed on the TSXV only in August, so we just celebrated our 1 month birthday being listed. But behind the scenes, the company's been in development for a lot longer than that. So it was really in earnest that we began in 2019. And myself and my colleagues, we've been in the helium space for about a decade now. And what we came across was the asset in Minnesota, which we call our Topaz project, and another one in Greenland that we developed ourselves, the Tunu project. Both of these projects are primary helium, primary being important because it's the primary economic driver. The helium is not a byproduct of another commodity. But yes, look, my colleagues and I saw these assets as having incredible potential. And in a time when the helium price is skyrocketing and the scarcity is real, it made a great deal of sense to list Pulsar and put it on the TSXV.
So you are experienced in this space and you've noticed those properties and saw a lot of potential in them. Can you give us more details about those projects, their potential, and how far have you progressed really when it comes to exploring them?
Sure. My colleagues and I, we developed the exploration model for helium. So there's a certain number of ingredients that you need. I won't bore the audience with those, but the one in Minnesota, it ticks every single box. And the actual discovery of the helium itself was won by chance. The company that was there previously was looking for nickel. They instead intersected gas. And it flowed 10.5% helium, which is extraordinarily high concentration. Anything that's above 0.3% helium content is something that has the potential to go into production, but 10.5 is truly world class. So we evaluated that project. As I said, it met all the key ingredients, and then we came in and we now own the licenses there. So the next big step is to then get it and realize its potential for production. So what we're doing is in a couple of months' time, we're drilling an appraisal well there. And so it's already been drilled and discovered. Now the appraisal well is to do further testing to find out the size of the prize. As for our Greenland asset there, that one's at an earlier stage, but internally we developed this project so that for nil entry cost. And we identified that there's helium there as well, primary helium system. So the next phase there is getting towards the drill program.
I must say that was a pleasant surprise discovering the helium. How far have you invested thus far in those projects? Tell us about the sunk cost and perhaps also elaborate on your current liquidity. Do you have sufficient capital and resources to continue with your exploration works?
Yeah, sure. Look, prior to listing, we put in the best part in Canadian dollars, around about just shy of 2 million in the pre-IPO round, and then the IPO rounds that we've just finished. So in the pre-IPO, we raised 2.9 million. In the IPO, we raised just over 3. So look, we've been successful. We've had good followers and good support in the stock. We've announced that we signed a drill contract. And so really the finance goes through to the drill program later this year.
Wonderful. And what are the challenges you're currently facing and how are you dealing with them? Perhaps you can also tell us about the next milestones on those projects.
Sure. As a company, to be honest, we're not really facing any challenges at the moment. We're in a very fortunate position. With our asset in Minnesota, that one, it's on private mineral rights, private surface rights. so that the access there, we don't have to deal with government agencies apart from the standard permits that you'd anticipate for a drill program. So we have those already in place. It's already been a drill proven discovery. So for this next drill program, we're drilling right next door to that hole. So the geological risk is low. So really, I think that I'm feeling very comfortable that we can meet all of our targets. In terms of the broader macro picture, the helium scarcity is still very much there. Every quarter, the price seems to be going up for the commodity. So there's appears to be minimal risk there. At the moment, so the price of helium is in excess of 100 times the natural gas price. So it's very lucrative. And to be honest, to find primary helium projects is extremely difficult. They're very rare. The price is very high and the commodity is very scarce for good reason. So I think that we're very well placed, and I feel very comfortable, to be honest.
Yeah, I can feel that definitely. And those are lots of encouraging factors and advantages you have there. Is there a final message you would like to share with your current shareholders, and also potentially a message for people who are sitting on the fence? Why should they consider Pulsar Helium as an appealing investment opportunity?
Yeah, to our existing shareholders, thank you very much. To be honest, like getting us to this point of listing, you've been fantastic. Your support is much appreciated, particularly for us. We're going off into 2 new frontiers. No one's ever looked for helium in Minnesota before, and there we are with the highest grade occurrence almost in history, and now in Greenland, something we've developed ourselves. So, look, I think that there's an awful lot to look forward to. The big one being the appraisal drill program coming up in Minnesota. That one's scheduled to occur at the beginning of December. So you don't really have to wait very long. And we confirm the results of that original discovery. And I think Pulsar Helium is going to look like a very different company at the beginning of next year. So extremely exciting. And for those considering it, joining us, I'd say that probably time is of the essence. That drill program is not very far away.
Very exciting indeed. Thomas Abraham James, the president and CEO of Pulsar Helium, thank you so much for joining us today and sharing this information. We look forward to seeing you again soon.
Thank you very much for the opportunity. Much appreciated.